bone out. The femur is the main one, or the last one. And the way I take that out is I just run my knife along the top there and mark it a little bit and use the hook to back it away. But you can just do all that with a knife. And then you go around this little joint here. And I pull the meat away from the bone. And that's it. You're done. Just about. There's your nice little pile of bones. Like I said, you can throw them in a stock pot and they work. If you put enough chicken bones with them, you don't even notice that there's pork in there. And let's see, the next thing I'm going to do is take this this heel section off, because if we're going to make steaks out of this, we really don't need it for steaks, and if we're going to make roasts, we don't need it for that either. The old timers used to just leave that in, but I'm going to take this kind of loose stuff out of the way. And if you're going to if you're just going to roll this whole thing for a big dinner party or something of that sort, you might want to put a nice spice rub in here and then tie it together, and it makes a beautiful roast. So anyway, we're going to set that aside, and we're going to do another one on the other side. We're just going to run through this because each side on these is slightly different, but it's just, you know, not where you'd really notice it from looking at them the first time. But we'll run through the same thing. We'll take that little oyster off the hatch bone, and then we'll start around the bone here. And there's that femur with that little notch, that little bit of a tendon hanging in there, and you just want to cut that without, and there's a little of that joint fluid in there, synovial fluid. It's kind of disgusting stuff, but we'll get that out of the way. And you go through this same thing on this other side. Kind of find that seam and follow right along the top of the bone. When you get to the end here, you'll kind of feel another set of muscles start under there. Do the same thing I did before, just kind of mark the top of that while you're going along here. And then we're going to take that shank off. Like I said, just go through that joint like it's a leg on a chicken. There's guys that in these big packing houses that just do this process all day long. That's all they do, is they take the bones out of pork legs for those boneless hams that you see. And those guys make me look like I'm just working in slow motion all the time. But I'm not that. I don't do that. I do a variety of things when I cut meat, so the old story about being a jack of all trades and a master of none, that applies to me. But it's nice to know a variety of things in life. So anyway, there we go. Got another nice pile of bones. And we want to clean this up a little bit. Kind of keep these different muscle groups intact. That's that heel section that's kind of tough. And I think we'll just go a little bit further and we will actually tie a roast. Will be a kind of an extension of our lesson here. If you're going to make a roast out of this, it's nice to leave a little covering of that beautiful fat on the top of it. In the old days, you wouldn't have trimmed any of this off. Would have just been proud of that fat. But in this day and age, we'll kind of compromise and we'll take a bit of it off. All right. And like I said, if you were going to make this for a dinner party or something of that sort, a nice big roast, you would you might want to put a little spice rub or some pieces of garlic or some rosemary in the center of that before you roasted it. And let's see, I'm going to kind of stitch this up a little bit so it doesn't get away from us. So it'll kind of stay together when we start tying the main part of it. Normally I don't tie these roasts, I just use a net on them, and but just for the sake of example and showing you how you could do things at home, I'm going to do this with just regular string. And that's not a butcher knot there, that was just a damn old granny knot. So anyway, I'm going to start on this side so that the knots will be on the side away from the top. And we'll see how this works out. I haven't done one of these in years. You kind of start in the center and work your way out.